Good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. Yes, another hot and sticky day in our immediate area. If you're outside of St. Louis, Missouri, welcome aboard. We love the fact that we have more and more states and even countries that are joining and waking up to positivity, or depending on where you are in your time zone, maybe you are ending your day with a little positivity. Watching live or watching the stream a little bit later, we greatly appreciate it. Yesterday morning, we weren't on with you, but we did have a show yesterday afternoon. I hope you saw it. I think about 1,000 of you have already seen it on Facebook. Our wonderful friend, Chef Marianne Moore, joined us from the Slyman Brothers Appliance Kitchen, and we made up some summer dishes. So if you didn't see that reel, check that out, and then you'll have the link you can watch on Facebook or YouTube. Again, enjoy that, and take those recipes, by the way, make them for your next summer outing, or if you are invited to a friend's house, a family member's house, trust me, you will win everyone over with those two summer dishes. A wonderful summer salad with a little arugula, a little spinach, and some shrimp. And we also made, are you hungry already this morning? We also made some charred vegetables with salmon, and I'm telling you, they looked Instagram worthy. We had a great time with that. So yeah, if you didn't see that, be sure to check it out. I mean, that's the beauty of streaming. We are on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. Tell your friends. We're on X and Rumble and LinkedIn, and we continue to grow and grow and grow those platforms. Let us know if there's a platform that you would like for us to be on. The talk show itself, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. And don't forget about the audio podcast. Thursdays, they drop on all the audio platforms. And this week, we're going to be featuring the wonderful Todd Michaels. If you're big into entertainment and some really good music, wait till you hear that particular interview. So today, we're going to kick things off with our weather in our immediate area. Again, the news you can use. We've got some entertainment and some sports news. And then we're going to get into the backstory of the ladies from NCJW, which is a wonderful organization, and the resale shop in Creve Coeur, where we're going to do our makeover show next week on the 18th. We've got 4 models already. We still have time. I'll be soliciting through the end of the week for anybody else to join us. If you have someone in your family that's available, again at 9 o'clock on Friday, July 18th, we'd love to have you join us. We just need a before picture, and then let them do their wonderful work, putting you all in 2 different outfits to see that makeover of maybe what you've always thought, oh my gosh, look at the potential that I have. Looking forward to that. They're always really popular shows, so can't wait to do our very first one with NCJW. All of that coming up for you this morning on The Real Monica Adams Show. Let's kick it off, though, with this hot, sticky weather. It's a segment we like to call What the Weather.
Good evening from St. Louis, Missouri, and it is a beautiful one.
And let me introduce you to our wonderful aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. First of all, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. We've got some rain in the background behind us, which I believe might be popping up a little bit later on today. But this sticky, humid pattern, is it going to end anytime soon, Beckett?
No, I mean, it is what it is. This is how summer goes here.
It is what it is, Monica. Deal with it. It's summer. Beckett and his family, by the way, came over this past weekend. It was such a wonderful holiday party. Did you all have a good time?
Yes, it was great to be with your family on Saturday. That was really nice.
They loved you. Again, I so enjoyed that because, again, you work together for so long, but you don't really get a chance to just hang together. So it was wonderful. I hope you all, of course, had a wonderful holiday season. Beckett is away at his cottage again throughout the summer, enjoying some time away. And then we're looking at the week ahead as far as any plans that you have, and can you do those outside? Do you have to watch the weather? So let's talk about the possibility of some storms and then breaking this pattern at all. I think a little bit later this week looks like it's actually going to be pretty, and then maybe some rain back this weekend. Let's let Beckett take that over for you and do what he does best. Beckett?
Yeah, so looking at the forecast graphic right now, so for today we got high of around 89, 50% chance of showers. So some showers and thunderstorms will be likely mainly in the evening after 5 p.m. Main threat's just going to be gusty winds, small hail. Then moving into tomorrow, we do have a chance for storms again for your Wednesday with a high of 87. That's going to be mainly after 1 p.m. Thursday, mostly sunny. That rain does get out of the area, 88 degrees. Friday, 93 degrees for your high, mostly sunny, warming up a little bit there. And then bring our rain chances back as we head into the weekend with a 40% chance of rain with a high of 89 on Saturday. 30% chance of rain on Sunday, and continuing those rain chances into the next work week.
I don't know if you have looked forward, like as we go into the end of July and into August. Are you forecasting some really hot, sticky days ahead? Are we looking for even 100 or the heat index being really crazy for the rest of the summer?
Yeah, well, as we go into July and especially into August, that's when it's the warmest here. That's when it gets really hot. So, yeah, I would expect that.
Okay, so more pool time.
Yeah, yes, more pool
Well, I
time.
hope you and your family have a wonderful time again away this week, and then we'll talk to you again on Friday.
All right, thank you. Sounds good.
All right, everybody. And again, if you haven't heard, we do have a sponsor for Beckett and our What the Weather segment, and it is GradeWorks LLC. I can't wait to introduce Beckett and his family to Mike Vernacci. Mike owns GradeWorks, and we had him on just about a week ago. They do excavating work for you if you are maybe affected by the rain that we've had over the last month plus, and you're having issues with the grading in your yard. Maybe you need some help with a business, or trees are down. You need some clearing. They can do all that for you. He also was involved in roofing for a long time, so he also can do roofing for you. You know, I know you're all very loyal to our sponsors, and I'm asking you to always support those that support us instead of you trying to get out there and do it all manually. That's why the boys have the big toys, right? Let them do the work for you. Mike is such a wonderful human being. If you haven't seen his story, be sure to go back and watch that. He's an incredible human being and a hard worker. So again, Mike, thank you so much, believing in not only the show, but furthering the education of our wonderful Beckett Moore. GradeWorks LLC. Check them out online. Give them a call for all of your excavating and roofing work. All right, let's get into some news you can use. It's been a horrible story, and since I haven't been with you in the morning since it happened, we haven't had a chance to talk about what's happening in Texas. Of course, all of our thoughts and prayers continuing to go out to all affected. The search efforts are entering the fifth day now as the Texas flooding death toll tops Hurricane Helene. At least 104 people are now confirmed dead across 6 counties in central Texas, surpassing that death toll from the historic flooding that was brought on by Hurricane Helene. That death toll makes this tragedy the deadliest rainfall-driven flash flood in the U.S. since 1976. Hundreds of emergency workers and volunteers are back out today. They're combing through debris and swollen waterways looking for those swept away. In the hardest hit area of Kerr County, 84 people died. 28 of them were children. Many of them were from Camp Mystic, which is a private all-girls summer camp near Texas's Guadalupe River. Heartbreaking images continuing to show how the camp was inundated and mattresses from cabins were swept away. 10 campers and 1 counselor still missing as of yesterday. And in a statement on their website, the camp confirmed that they lost 27 of their campers and counselors in the disaster. Part of that statement said, quote, "Our hearts are broken alongside our families that are enduring this unimaginable tragedy. We are preparing for them constantly," and continuing to send the prayers out. In our social media here at the Real Monica Adams team, we put a GoFundMe page that was out there, and I keep asking those that we knew and we met in the Texas Hill Country and Fredericksburg, anything that we can do, because they stepped up and helped us during our tornado back in May. So let's please return that favor and help them out in Texas as well. Well, let's talk about some refunds that could be coming your way. Costco is recalling nearly a dozen products, urging consumers to stop using them. Now, you don't always get a refund. Remedies typically consist of a refund, maybe a repair or a replacement, but they vary for every recall. Right now, Costco is recalling nearly a dozen items in recent months, urging shoppers who bought them stop using them immediately. Here are the recalled products: the Danby 8KU-shaped window air conditioner, which may have been sold under other names such as Comfort Air or maybe Keystone, and a U-shaped window AC. Costco says both of these units may not drain the water quickly enough and could lead to mold. The company has also recalled 2 power bank models because of an issue with lithium-ion batteries. And in addition, customers should stop using Bridgestone Blizzak tires because they're missing a Department of Transportation certification seal. I did send this link along to Miranda. We'll give it to Jenny as well, both of them helping out doing our moderating today. So we'll give you that website so that you can take a look and find out if one of the things that you have is on that list. And if so, again, find out if you will get a recall, if you have to take it back to Costco, or again, as they had asked, please stop using that immediately. Well, we've got some news. If you have kids in the Collinsville School District and they regularly like to take their cell phones to class, there might be some changes for them very soon. They are announcing a cell phone policy change, and they're enacting this new policy immediately. The changes were announced yesterday, recommended by the district administration, approved at a Board of Education meeting back in May. The policy continuing to ban cell phones in elementary, intermediate, and middle schools from when students enter the building until they leave. The changes to the policy limit electronic devices at Collinsville High School. The new policy for the high school includes that devices must be powered off and out of sight during all instructional time, passing periods, and in academic areas. Permitted use before the 7:40 in the morning bell and during a student's assigned lunch period. School-issued Chromebooks may be used in classes directed by the teacher, and then headphones and earbuds not allowed during the school day. The district said that disciplinary action will be determined case by case. So what do you think about that? Whether you have kids in the Collinsville district or if they are a leader in this and it may by chance start coming your way. All right, I know a lot of you look forward to this. We should talk about it in the news all the time. Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day is on tap today, and I've got some of the items you might want to try to get immediately. Apple, Beats, Sony, Bose, and more. It's the big deal that the best Prime Day deals right now are on headphones. So the Apple AirPods Pro 2 wireless earbuds, normally $249, they're $160. I need some earbuds, so I'm going to try and hop on that after. Hopefully you don't all get it before I get off with the show. Apple AirPod 4 wireless earbuds, normally $129. They're claiming it's the lowest price ever at $99. The Apple AirPod 4 with active noise cancellation, it's at $149. If you want those wireless headphones, normally $549, they're down to $450. And the Beats Studio Buds that are normally $150, you can save $40. They're saying that they're $110 right now. So if you're in the market for any of those, also there's an 11-inch iPad that just hit a record low price for Prime Day, but you better act fast. They're expecting that one to go fast. Apple and, any kind of these earbud issues, the tech issues, those are all the big deals every time that there's ever an Amazon Prime Day. Of course, there's many other things, but have fun. And if you are going off to work and if you're a boss, give them a break because they do want a little time to try to get the best deals. All right, let's get some entertainment news. Michael Douglas saying he's never going to act again. That's his plan. The two-time Oscar winner who starred in classic movies like Wall Street and Fatal Attraction says he would only return to the screen if something special came up. He is 80 years old now. He told reporters at a film festival over the weekend that he hasn't worked since 2022 after realizing that he had to stop. After working for almost 60 years, he said he's been happy with taking the time off and supporting the career of his wife, actress Catherine Zeta-Jones. He stopped short of stating that he's retiring, but he says he does not intend on returning to acting. And if you like going to Fairmount Park, well, look for a new group to enter in and owned by one of St. Louis's own, Nelly. Right, the St. Louis Nellies, the newest team in the National Thoroughbred League. According to the league, Grammy winner Nelly is a large stakeholder in the St. Louis Nellies, which is a team relocating from Seattle, and they're going to make their debut at Fairmount Park later this month. Back on July 19th, coming forward, Nelly will host the first ever National Thoroughbred League Nelly Cup at Fairmount Park in Collinsville. Admission to the event, by the way, will be free, so you can look online in order to get those free tickets. And you would do anything for your furry pet, right? Would you go into the jaws of an alligator? Well, this man did. He saved his beloved beloved dog. This was in North Carolina 2 weeks ago. Bonner Herring was spending time on his 100-acre property in Southport, where he often fishes and he gardens. He said 5 minutes can turn into an hour real quick. Most of his days there, he's accompanied by his 4-year-old black lab, Strike. On this particular day, he said it was too hot to leave Strike in his car, the dog typically lounging by the edge of a nearby pond to cool off. Well, suddenly there was this unbelievable yelp. He said, I had my guard down. I didn't think about it. I just heard him yell like he never, would. This crazy yell, I heard water at the same time and knew exactly what it was. He saw a 10 to 12-foot alligator pull Strike into the water, and he was like, this is his quote, "No, sir, that's not going to happen to my dog. I'm getting my dog back." He grabbed a nearby rake from his garden, sprang into action. He said somehow a voice inside of his head said, if you can get in there and pile in there close enough, maybe you can keep that gator away. And that's exactly what he did. He thought I was going to fight that alligator enough to get my dog away, and he did just that. What a hero, rescuing his baby, and I think I would have done the exact same thing. That alligator, not my dog. Not today. All right, in some card news, first of all, Brendan Donovan named to the All-Star roster. Congratulations. Donovan is the only Cardinals player named to this year's roster. He makes the team as a reserve for the National League. By the way, the All-Star game is scheduled for July 15th, 7 o'clock at Atlanta's Truist Park. The Cards are in action, back from their trip with the Chicago Cubs. They weren't swept, but they didn't look the best. It's the Washington Nationals in town playing today at 6:45, and they continue their series tomorrow, 6:45 first pitch, the same thing on Thursday. And then in our National Day of calendar, this is a good summer treat. How about eating some raspberries? It's National Raspberry Day. It's also Cow Appreciation Day, National Freezer Pop Day. We need some of that in the hot days as well. And then National Chocolate with Almonds Day. There you have it. You are all up to date in the things that we think are news you can use and more positive things. Like we used to call them water cooler talking stories, all of that. So pass those along to your family and friends. Let me just say good morning to each and every one of you that are on. Just kind of one fell swoop. I know a lot of you are on this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let all your family and friends know that we're on, and we're going to talk some fashion. I love my fashion. Well, I'm going to introduce you to a place that maybe you've been to or maybe you've never heard of. It's the Resale Shop, affiliated with NCJW. We're going to talk about this organization. It's been around since the 1800s and the work that they're doing in our community. An opportunity for you to donate, volunteer, to shop. They've got some great events coming up. Just overall, wonderful human beings. We'll talk with Ellen Alper and Jessica Dunneman. They'll be my guests when we return. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Carroll House has the furniture you're dreaming of.
For big family gatherings, for entertaining friends, or just hanging out.
For working from home or resting after work.
For kids growing up or young adults moving out.
Whether you're updating your first home, your next home, or your dream home.
Whatever the reason you're shopping, we have the furniture you're dreaming of at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
And welcome back. Thanks again for tuning in this morning to the Real Monica Adams Show. A lot of you just waking up. Remember, we love when you can watch live, when you have to run off to work. We get it. So come back and watch it on stream. That's a beautiful thing. I always love to see the numbers that we create during the live show and then how it grows and grows and grows throughout the day. And that's you coming home and watching or passing that along to your family and friends. Do just that. Like, share, and follow all of our live streams so that you get notified when we go live. So I want to thank, first of all, Audra Harold, and as well our wonderful Diane Isbell, big fashionistas that watch us on a regular basis. They love the fact that I love fashion. I got to thank my mom for that when I was very, very young. So it's always been a thing for me, and I love whenever we get to do fashion segments. So the two of those ladies reached out and said, I got to introduce you to these two ladies. So let me introduce you to Ellen Elper and Jessica Donovan. First of all, ladies, thanks for coming in this morning.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to bring this microphone down to you just a little bit. There you go. And scoot it in towards you. How are you this morning?
We're great.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. So for people that have never heard of NCJW, let's talk about the organization. We'll talk about the resale shop. We'll get you involved in volunteering, donating, some great events that you have coming up, some education and awareness. We've got a lot to talk about here over the next hour or so. Let's start with you, Ellen. So the organization itself, tell people more about it.
So the National Council of Jewish Women has been around in St. Louis for over 130 years.
Yeah.
Our mission is broad. It's to improve the lives of women, children, and families in our community. And we do that with a variety of direct service programs, community education. Our goal is to help as many people as we can throughout the year.
And that is a long time to have an organization. When you and I met, I was like, 130 years? What? That's incredible. What are you most proud of, ladies, in that time? And how long have you two been with the organization?
Yeah, so I have been there 15 years. So I'm the director of retail operations. So I manage our resale shop, which helps fund the projects that NCJW does. And but Ellen's been there even longer.
So I've been there 20 years. I'm the CEO, and I've watched the organization grow over 20 years. We run 5 direct service projects. Our biggest one is coming up August 3rd. It's the 25th anniversary of our back to school store. We will serve over 2,100 children and their families in one day with almost 500 volunteers who come together to make it happen. It's like a giant pop-up store for the kids. And it is an amazing feel-good day.
Yes. So what I loved, you ladies took me all throughout, and I was able to see the behind the scenes. We were talking like it was the Wizard of Oz, right? Let's go behind the curtains and see it all. But it really was amazing to put it all together in my head. I mean, in my years of news, I knew a lot about your organization, but never got a chance to see the working aspect of all of it. So yes, that day, for how hard you all work and how the community all comes together, you must just have chills of look what we're able to do as a team.
All the time. When you're talking to a little kid and you're handing them a winter coat and it's 95 degrees outside and they want to wear the coat home because it's the first time they've ever gotten a brand new coat. It makes the hair stand up on your arms. It really does.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the cool thing about what we do is we build on the history of the organization. There are half a dozen nonprofits in our community that started as community service projects of NCJW, and we spun them off on their own when they grew big enough and strong enough to stand on their own.
Can we go back 130 years and from what you've heard from the original people who had this idea, what was in their minds at that time to say, we need this?
It was about helping people in the community and coming together. And we do it, we're the National Council of Jewish Women. Mm-hmm. We're not a religious organization, but we do it through the Jewish value of tikkun olam, which means to repair the world. And every one of us has an obligation to go out and work to better the world in which we all live.
Look, she's preaching to the choir here, right? This is what we're all about. It's all about, can we make a difference in the world? I always say, if we can impact one person, we've done our job. And then ideally, that one person pays it forward, right? Mm-hmm. And continues to say, let's help, let's help, let's help. I love the fact that you said that, because some people might say, oh, okay, is it a religious organization? Do I have to be a part of this? No, it's the entire community. And really, we're a better world if we all understand each other's culture, each other's religion, faith aspect, who we are as human beings. get out of our own way, understanding more, right? I'm sure you talk about that on a regular basis.
We do. We do. Because it's all about how do we come together to make change, right?
Yes.
How do we positively impact the world in which we live? And how do we bring all of these groups together to do that? And we love to convene those kinds of things as part of our organization. For example, we have a group that meets quarterly, and it's all of the organizations in the community that do back to school programs. So we can talk about how do we serve more kids? How do we not duplicate our services? How do we, if we have extra backpacks, who needs them?
Right.
And who do we give them to?
Well, and that was the question I was just going to ask. If you're just tuning in, let me reintroduce my guest again, Ellen Alper, Jessica Dunneman. So, Ellen, from the aspect of where the schools are, where the kids are, you mentioned the back to school day, and again, we'll talk about that and the date, et cetera. But how are you finding those that are in need?
We have about 70 partner organizations, churches, synagogues, other community service organizations, shelters. They bring all of those children and their families to our event.
Okay.
So they're all out in the community. And so we're in multiple school districts. We are in multiple regions around the community. So kids are coming from everywhere.
And, when Jessica, when you were walking me through and I thought, gosh, there's got to be so many organizations that want to help out here. I'm like, does anybody donate their stuff? We talked about toothbrushes, right? Yeah. So you have is it a dental program or a dentist that helps out with that?
Yep. So
yeah, I can talk about that. We partner with, there's an organization called Give Kids a Smile that comes in and partners with us, and they provide free dental services. But we also are the recipients of a grant from Delta Dental, and they give us dental kits that we can give out to all the kids. So we give out a lot of stuff.
Oh, I was from the stuff aspect, because you showed me a lot of it. Where is it all coming from? Because I love the fact that you have that partnership, but I'm just wondering if other corporations, business-minded people, if they can step up, whether it is that they make a monetary donation or how they can help out with more of that, or where are you gathering it from?
So a lot of it, some of it we purchase.
Okay.
And we purchase it because we get grants from the community. We run a Sponsor a Child campaign every May, June, and July. For $180, you can sponsor one child at the back to school store, and that buys everything that child needs.
Love it.
So some of it we purchase, some of it is donated. We have a partnership with the St. Louis Diaper Bank, and we give out to the families diapers and period products. Because we know from the research that there are young women who miss 4 to 5 days of school every single year because they don't have what they need.
Absolutely.
And so we make all of that available at no cost to everyone that walks in the door that day.
Again, a phenomenal organization that a lot of you maybe have never heard of. And that's why we wanted to do this. We wanted to give you the backstory before we get a chance to have fun. So Jessica, again, was mentioning as she is involved on the resale shop side. So the resale shop's been involved with NCJW for how long?
For about 85 years now.
Wow.
Our first store in the community was in 1940. And it was a way to raise money. And so women came together. They had this idea of, selling their used, clothing to raise money for NCJW. And it took off from there. The store has had a couple different locations. It's operated in a couple different forms, sometimes year-round, sometimes just a few weeks out of the year. It's had a couple different models that it's followed. And in about the year 2000, it became a permanent staple kind of in the St. Louis community on Olive. We were at Olive and McKnight until 2011, where we moved it to its current location at 295 North Lindbergh. And as you know...
Okay, I didn't know. I'm like, can we tell them? I'm sitting here locking eyes with you going, Jessica, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. Okay, when we met, she and I walked around and then all of a sudden she gave us this little information and I thought, oh my gosh, this is huge for them. But can I say it? So yes, it is out there. So they're growing right next door into a larger space. You're going from what square footage to what square footage?
So we're going from 13,000 square foot, and it is the entire building. So we operate together under the same roof. So we have 13,000 square feet that we share now, and we'll be going to just under 30,000 square feet altogether.
Yeah, congratulations. So if you're familiar with the Joseph A. Banks building, that's the building that they're going into. What does it mean to you to be able to take that over, and what will it allow you to do that you haven't had a chance to do?
It's unbelievable. To me, this is like a dream come true. When we looked at the building at 295 in 2011. Obviously, Ellen and I were both working then. We thought we would never fill it. We had aspirations, of filling this space, and we thought this building was going to house everything we ever wanted to do and more. And we quickly discovered that it was not going to be our forever home because all the things we wanted to do, all those aspirations we had, were not going to fit under one roof.
Right.
And our building was a Joseph Banks before. Mm-hmm. And so we always joked that if we only had the Joseph Banks next door, if only that building next door, and not ever thinking it was really going to happen. And it did. And now those aspirations can really go.
I'm so excited for this. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking with the ladies from NCJW, the resale shop component. Again, maybe you've been in there, 295 North Lindbergh, where we will be for this fun makeover show, which I know one of our models has come in already, Barb, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then today Hayden's coming in. That's what I was told. Hayden, one of our interns, he's excited. And when he first started, he's like, can I be a part of that? If his girlfriend was supposed to be, and she unfortunately can't. But so we do have room, by the way, for maybe one or two more models, but we're getting down to the wire. So by Friday, I really would like to wrap it up with our models. We have 4. So Hayden and Barb and Danielle and Kim for sure. But the thing that I love, because we've done these makeover shows with the ladies at the Vault, and we'll talk about the collaboration you have with them, but that's all ladies. You have men's and women's clothes.
We do. And we have kids. Mm-hmm. We offer a great variety of items for children. We also have housewares. We don't do large furniture, but we do beautiful, beautiful home decor. One of the best, I think, home decor sections of any thrift store in St. Louis. And we have something for everyone.
You really do. And shoes. Can we talk about your shoes?
Yes.
Always shoes. Every day I walk the shoe department to see if there's something I want to buy.
Exactly. I was just going to say, and I ask the ladies at the Vault all the time, I'm like, how do you not take all of this home? I mean, there's so much of it. You really do have to have some restraint.
It's one of those things that, like, when a new employee starts, you see that just like kid in the candy shop, and like they'll buy so much, like their first few weeks. Yep. And then they're like, okay, like this stuff doesn't stop. Like it keeps coming. So you do have to learn how to like control yourself. But shoes are my personal favorite of anything. I have so many shoes and I love shoes. I pretty much do every shoe in the store when it comes in. I clean them, I price them, I research them, I save the ones for couturier. I mean, whatever it is, that's kind of my jam. That's the job that I love to do the most. But I have to say no sometimes.
Exactly.
Because there are so many.
I have to say this. When I was first introduced to you, it was because of the shoes. I was actually shopping because my friend worked over at Joseph A. Banks, and he's like, ladies, have you ever been next door? And I said, no, what's next door? And this was, I don't know how many years ago. So my mother, I told you this, my mother, myself, my brother all came over, and I'm walking through going, what is this place? It was like so much fun. So I hope you all feel that same thing. We're looking at pictures, but pictures can only do so much as you need to get into the store and shop. So let's talk about your hours, and then we'll take a quick break. She just mentioned couturier. We've got to talk about that because that's just absolutely huge. But your hours are?
So our hours for the resale shop, we are open Monday through Saturday. Mm-hmm. Monday through Friday is 10 to 6. Saturday is 10 to 5. We are closed on Sundays, and we take donations every day from 10 to 4.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the donations. We'll talk about what they do take. By the way, the show we're doing with these ladies is next Friday, 9 a.m. We were going to do it during the regular morning hours, but we thought, what the heck? Let's push it to 9, and then we'll get some shoppers that might be coming in that will get the chance to see the wrap-up of. And that's always the most fun because we have everybody kind of parade back out. We're going to see what our favorite outfits are. We'll be like the judges of who styled who best.
I love it.
So kids, women, men's, housewares, so many things. We'll talk about the process of how they go through that. Don't go anywhere. We have more with Ellen Alper and Jessica Dunman when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
I've ever asked, but it's funny.
NCJW is impactful to the country and to the community.
It's important to support the work of NCJW. It's important because we're working to change lives. We are transforming individuals, women, children, families.
Sure, he doesn't
we
want any
stay
water?
true
Like,
to
no,
our
he
mission.
should. And sure enough, he's doing
organizations
the
don't
first 10
run
minutes, and then I
without
take a break like
finances.
this.
That's
And
the
all
best
of a sudden,
investment. To be
Gabriel from the back end
involved
goes,
with a group
did you need
that
any water?
understands
Yeah, can I have water? And I was like,
the
see,
value of
I'm
partnership.
like, I think it's always
Funders
smart
are
just to
looking
have
at
it,
that. How
even
do
if you
you
think you don't
spend
need
your
it, because
money?
then
What
suddenly
are
your
you
voice gets
giving
dry.
back to the
Yeah.
Oh, it
community?
does, because you're talking, and then all of a
Always
sudden you
looking
get
at the
raspy.
stability of the
Icky,
organization,
right. I'm raspy
how
all the time, but
efficient
still.
are they managing their resources.
I know what that means, right?
It's exciting that there are opportunities to really leverage all this terrific work just with the stroke of a pen and the right checkbook. Time is important, talent is important, and obviously treasure is part of the equation too.
We like to say, we've been around for 125 years and the work is not done. Donate now. Your support will change lives.
And that's exactly what we said. Your support will change lives, as the video just mentioned. If you're just tuning in, thank you, by the way. Good morning to you. The show is The Real Monica Adams Show. We love to be authentic. We love to help out. It's what this whole community is. You Monica's maniacs that you call yourselves. I know you're so loyal. So why don't you support these ladies and definitely watch next Friday if you want to be a part of it. I know I use the word model, and some people might be like, oh, I'm not a model. No. We're just talking about, hey, do you want to come in and have fun with us and walk in the way you normally are, and then let these ladies transform you into, are we doing a casual and a dressy outfit?
We are.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you've watched any of our makeover shows, they're always extremely popular. We mentioned the Vault. Can you talk about the collaboration you have with the ladies at the Vault?
I would love to. We love the ladies at the Vault. We have always had such an amazing relationship with them. Sue, the original owner, Sue, she has always been so kind to help us with any questions we ever, come up with as we've grown. I mean, we started out as a very small store, and they've helped us all along the way, many years, and then, of course, Laura and Diana, all of the ladies at the Vault, honestly, are great supporters. We travel together for the National Association of Resale and Thrift Store conferences, and we collaborate daily. And the way that we do that is that as they are they're a buyout type of business, you go and you sell your items to them, kind of like consignment, but not quite. And they may say, hey, we would love to purchase this item, but we're unable to take this one. But instead of that person taking that item back, they're able to actually donate that item to us right on the spot. We provide the Vault with these wonderful red bags that we use, which we give out to everyone. So anybody who comes to the donation center can certainly pick one of those up. They're very convenient, just to hang in your closet and put your donations in when something doesn't fit right. But the Vault has those on hand. They take those items that, that they turn down for whatever reason for purchasing, and they fill those bags, and they call me once a week, and I swing by and I pick them up. And then we're able to we actually tag each one of those pieces of clothing in our store with a tag that says brought to you by the Vault. And that way people know, it gives them an idea of some of the things that, that we're doing out in the community. And, the Vault is not the only store we work with. We work with other stores here in the community as well. But it gives my staff, too, the opportunity that when somebody calls and they say, hey, I would like to sell this. And because we are donation based, we can say, hey, we're unable to purchase, but why don't you call the Vault?
Right.
Go on down to the Vault, see what those ladies, have to offer you. And then, if by chance that's not an item that they want, then you have the opportunity to donate it right there on the spot.
I love the collaboration. Again, it's wonderful. And when I heard that, because I brought a bunch of stuff into them and they're like, ooh, we'll take this. Okay, not this stuff, but we can donate. And I was like, yes, please. Let's just continue to give back, which is what we were mentioning. Okay, we went into the break and I said, I can't wait to talk about Couturier, which blew my mind. This is the part where we just kept going down, down, down. And I went into the vault area. She unlocked it for me. And I was able to see, I'm talking very high-end stuff. And you were mentioning, Ellen, that there's quite a history behind Couturier.
Mm-hmm. So Couturier was founded in 1964 by a woman. Her name was Beatty Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And she and her friends, at that time, women dressed glamour all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they would go to all these events and all these balls and all kinds of things. And, well, you can't wear the same dress twice,
No,
right?
you
If the
can't.
same people are going to see it. So they decided maybe we should just get together and sell all those dresses to support NCJW. So this little seed of an idea that they tell us Beatty thought about while she was in the bathtub, which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And her son actually tells the story about the first red dress that she sold. And we actually have a picture of her in that dress.
Mm-hmm.
And these women came together and they started this little high-end resale event called Couturier. And it has grown and grown and grown and grown. And now it's a 4-day event, and we have a VIP piece to it. And people donate for Couturier all year long. And we pull those clothes and we bring them out. And I'm going to let Jess talk about what happens next.
Yes. I mean, it's truly amazing because Jessica was talking about, oh my gosh, we'll put those tickets on sale and they're gone within minutes.
Minutes.
About 6 minutes it takes to sell out.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
But again, if you don't get the VIP aspect, as Ellen just mentioned, there are multiple days of it and then some changes that happen over the days.
Yeah. So this is our largest fundraiser of the year. The resale shop is absolutely known for having the best merchandise all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, year round, you can walk into the resale shop and find top of the line stuff. Okay. Couturier is when we get a donation and the girls go through the donation and we might get 40 pair of Lululemon leggings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe one of those gets saved for Couturier. Like this stuff is hand selected.
Mm-hmm.
It is the very best. There's something exciting or unique about that piece. A lot of times it's new with tags. But this stuff is the best. I really don't know how to explain it other than it's handpicked. It is hand selected by my staff because they think this is the piece.
Can you drop some like label names of things? Because when we walked through, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And it's not just the clothes. I mean, you mentioned houseware too. There's some very unique items there as well.
But
Yeah.
go back to your shoes. Your Jimmy Choo,
Mm-hmm.
Prada, Gucci,
You know, your Manolos.
Manolo Blahnik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there are high-end names, 100%. That is the name of Couturier.
Mhm.
You know, it is the high-end names. But it's not all like what I would think out of reach brands.
Mhm.
You know, there's a lot of things that are, you know, Lululemon is obviously very popular.
Mhm.
Free People,
Mhm.
very popular. You know, any of the Anthropology brands, you know, Chico's, J. Crew, a lot of everyday brands. But like I said, these pieces are unique.
Unique. Mhm.
Like we love, like we get a lot of Johnny Was.
Mhm.
I love that brand. All the big embroidered flowers and everything that it has. Those pieces are beautiful. You know, Burberry, Veronica Beard, lots of St. John, Eileen Fisher,
Mhm.
just racks of, you know, high-end winter coats and accessories. The jewelry, this is when we bring out the much nicer jewelry.
Mhm.
So you may have, you know, the real stones, the real silver, the real gold. You know, this is not necessarily just, you know, costume jewelry. But again, there's a lot of costume jewelry. It's just really nice stuff. So it might be Kate Spade.
Right.
You know, it might be Kendra Scott. You know, there are definitely some brands that they don't have to be elaborate to be included in Couturier. There's literally something for everyone. They're just extraordinary pieces.
And we mentioned, she just said the word racks, and I do mean racks and racks and racks of women's and men's and kids and housewares. You were showing me stuff and you're like, look at these very unique pieces. Well, it was funny because I was like, what's that? She's like, I don't know, but people want it.
Yeah. Looks cool. We picked it out. I don't know.
So you mentioned 4 days. Okay. So how does this all work? You have the VIP day and then talk about how the days change.
Yeah, so I'll go a little bit further back than that. So leading up to Couturier is always in the fall. It falls somewhere between September and October. And what happens is we actually clear out our store.
Yeah. Completely.
Completely. There is nothing left. So we do clearance sales up until setup day for Couturier, because nothing that's on our sales floor is going to be there when those stores open for Couturier. So we clear out. Then we partner with two men in a truck. They bring all of our designer merchandise over because it's stored, off-site, so it all comes over. And we have a full day of nothing but volunteers and staff, and we reset the entire store. So when I say there's nothing in the store, we are starting with a bare bones store.
That's so awesome.
There are people running around. We're painting walls. We're shampooing carpets. We're doing all of these things because the store's empty one day a year. That's our chance. And so there's all these things happening behind the scenes. The store completely gets reset. So it goes from empty to full in less than 2 days.
It's amazing.
And then that's when we open for the VIPs. So when you're buying that VIP ticket, you are truly the first person to have access to everything that Couturier has to offer. You're getting to see everything all at once as the first people through that door. So we sell the VIP tickets. There's 2 tiers of tickets for VIP. And so it's going to be I believe it's noon to 2 and then 2 to 4. Those are tickets that are purchased online in advance. And those tickets go on sale about a month before the event. So we let you know on social media when to expect that.
I was just going to ask, how are they finding out?
Yep,
Okay.
they'll know emails, sign up for our emails, be on our social media, Facebook or Instagram. We keep everyone up to date.
Do you do like a clock ticking down?
Well, I'll go back to that.
Seconds are left.
Yep. And then on that VIP day so this is on a Thursday, or I'm sorry, Wednesday. It used to be Thursday. Wednesday. Then from 4 to 8 p.m. for just a $15 donation at the door, you can come in. So if you don't have a ticket, we are open from 4 to 8 p.m. So we stay open later, and people line up, and they come in on that first day. It's pretty wild. But don't worry, we do not run out of anything.
Sure.
There is plenty. And then the sale goes then Thursday, Friday, free of charge, open to the public. Just come and shop. Sometimes we do have to kind of limit the amount of people because sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming. So you might have to stand in line for a few minutes, but we keep it super fun in the lines. We do giveaways for gift cards and prizes. We play games. And so we try to keep it really entertaining if you do have to wait for a few minutes. And then Saturday, we do 25% off store-wide to kind of finish out the event. And then, Monday is just back to back to normal. We just pretend like we didn't have this crazy 4-day event, and we start launching our fall merchandise then. And so we literally go from Couturier to the fall launch. So no matter what, you're going to find the best stuff during those few weeks.
So when people are buying the VIP tickets, and you mentioned again the 12 to 2, 2 to 4 time frame, in the lines that they're in, when they're buying their tickets, there's not a number of them being 1, 2, 3, 4 in line. Is there, or is there?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So what happens is we don't sell a numbered ticket where there's just a set amount. So there's about 40 tickets that are available for each time slot.
Okay.
And so within those 40 tickets, if you purchase a VIP ticket, then the women line up.
Okay.
And so then what happens is a little bit before we open the doors is that we go through and we hand out line numbers to specific areas of the store. And so that being the jewelry and purses.
Gotcha.
Or high-end purses. And
so they get their first choices there.
Yep.
By the number they are in line.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That way they're truly treated, as a VIP customer at the jewelry counter or the purse counter. They're not fighting, 15 people saying, no, I want that bag. I want that bag. They're being served one-on-one at that counter. And so we try to limit the amount of tickets that we sell so that we can still provide that personalized kind of shopping experience.
Fun? And I would just add that the way we do that is with our volunteers and our staff.
I've heard.
So we get 50 to 75 volunteers that come in and help every single day. And so there might be where normally there's one person behind the jewelry counter, there's going to be 4
Yeah.
behind the jewelry counter so that we can accommodate all of those folks. And our volunteers love, love, love this event. They come in, they work a 4-hour shift, then they can shop, right?
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Mhm.
And yeah, so volunteering and donating, there's so many levels of how you as a community can help out and have fun with this. And again, it is imperative that you follow them on social media. Where are you most active? Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook is really where we have the most followers. We're very active on Facebook, but our Instagram is really blowing up, and we have a lot of great content on there. One of the things I wanted to go back to is when you said, is there some sort of a countdown or something
Yes.
to Couturier? We do a 30-day countdown.
Okay.
And what we do is we actually, for 30 days ahead of the event, every day there's a post. And it's going to give you a sneak peek of something available at Couturier. So it might be, a grouping of a few purses, or, a really fabulous houseware, or, a pair of shoes or something. But every day we're going to release a photo so that you have an idea of what is available before you even buy your ticket, before you arrive. And each day they're going to be letting you know, 10 days till those tickets go on sale, 9 days till those tickets go on sale. It's going to be a daily reminder so you don't have to worry about missing it.
And again, if you didn't hear, Ellen was mentioned earlier, in about 5 to 6 minutes, those tickets are going to go like that. So that's why it's important to keep an eye on it. Know when the tickets are coming available to you. And good luck to you. Again, if you can be one of the 40 in that one time slot or 40 in the other. If not, still some amazing items over the next few days. And then we get ready for fall. Fall is my favorite time from a fashion standpoint. I just love fall clothes. Again, there's so many levels. And we also talked about an education aspect. I want to talk about some of the events that are coming up, that will be here in the next month and the next couple of months for you as well. Supporting the ladies of NCJW. And again, as a community, I know you're very big in doing so. So we appreciate that. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more with Ellen and Jessica when we return.
What is unique about NCJW is that we have so many community service projects.
NCJW and the Back to School store really provides an opportunity for students to start the first day of school feeling good about themselves.
They've got their notebooks and their school supplies, even coats and shoes that a lot of our kids need.
Community closets, what it did was give young people the clothing, the kind of attire they needed, and other supports that were necessary for them to have to be able to get to school each day and to be successful.
So receiving the loan, it helped me tremendously, getting a machine that I didn't have the funds for. Yeah, that's what the Healing Heart Bank loan did for me. From my Healing Heart, thank you.
To do this before.
What we all had in common was
who's running,
we all needed to
and
have our
posting stuff
lives
in your comments
go
from
on. I
NCJW
really
right
look
now?
forward
Probably
to that
Yolanda out in the hallway.
Wednesday night meeting.
So she just
like you
did
wouldn't
the
believe.
save the
I
date
think it's
and
one of
put October
the
22nd
great
to the
things
25th.
about
Fabulous.
NCJW,
Okay, so
to incubate programs and
Diane's a great
projects and
collaboration
then
with the
to allow
Development
those
Research.
programs to move on.
It's not about taking credit. It's not about having your name out there or being the one that gets in the papers or gets the award. It's really about doing the job.
Volunteer now. Your time makes a difference.
Doesn't that just look refreshing? I just want to sit there for a while and just say, put your feet in. No, go all in. So if you have been looking for a pool for your house, or maybe you're getting ready to buy a house and it doesn't have a pool and you're thinking about having one put in. So our friends at Just Pools are the perfect place for that. They've been around for a long, long time, serving the community and giving you, again, what many people might look at as a luxury, but you would be very surprised. The thing you need to do is just go in and talk to them and say, oh, I didn't know that I could afford this or that, and you just kind of grow from there. Just Pools, I say welcome back to them because they were with us last year, and they're back with us for the summer, and I love it. Thank you so much, Madonna and the team. Right now, by the way, I just went in over the 4th of July holiday. They had 10% off of the Clear Results chemicals, very important to make sure that your pool is crystal clear. The fun toys, the floats, everything. Give them a call at 636-464-7110, and trust me, with the the forecast you just saw that Beckett had, you would wish that you had a pool right now and for the next several weeks, because it is just really, really oppressively hot and sticky and humid, and it's fun to get in a pool. So Just Pools, thank you so much for being a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. Welcome back. I am your host, Monica, and we have Ellen Alper and Jessica Dunneman. We're talking about the NCJW. And again, they're around for 130 years, the resale shop component of it. We were just looking in the comments. So the save the date is October 22nd through the 25th. So that means right about a month before that, look for the countdown and all the wonderful items of Couturier. So we're talking about that fabulous event, but so many things for you to come into the store with, but also some events. So you talked about the back to school. What are some other events coming up? And I know there's an education piece also that I want you to talk about.
So we do a couple of different things. We do lunch and learns. We do what we call hot topics brunch. We do cocktails and causes because sometimes you just have to talk over wine. And we bring in guest speakers to help educate the community. So we talk about a lot of different things. We have a program on the fourth Tuesday of the month called Coffee Talk, and it's all on Zoom, and it starts at 8:30 in the morning. So you just grab your cup of coffee, log in, and we get these great, interesting speakers. It might be about food and restaurants. It might be about exciting things that are happening in the community. It might be a behind the scenes of the History Museum or the Art Museum or any number of things. We did one with a woman from the aquarium, and we had great pictures, and she told stories about how it came to be. And it's just fun, and it's a great time to just come together and connect and learn a little bit about what's happening in our world. And then we do in-person events as well. We have a big event this September called NCJW Believes, and it's to celebrate the 25th anniversary of our back-to-school store. And that is also a fundraiser for us because we have to raise every dime we spend.
Right.
As a nonprofit, that's how we do it. I mean, even your ticket purchases for Couturier are a donation to the organization.
That's what I was going to say. And so I believe I may have asked you, Jessica, each year, obviously setting bigger goals. Is there a number that you're hoping to raise from Couturier this year?
Ooh, I don't know. Enough to pay for that new building.
Exactly.
Enough to pay for that.
I'll give you a big number. No, we are in the middle of a $5 million capital campaign. For our new building.
Yeah.
And the community has been extraordinarily generous in supporting what we are doing. And we're going to launch a public phase on that capital campaign in October.
Wonderful. Again, so many levels of things that you can help. To go back to the donation aspect. So if people are at home going, oh, well, I have this or I have that, I wonder if this is what they can take. Can you kind of give a breakdown of this is what we take and then this is what's not? I love the mentality of if you would lend it to a friend, right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if your friend would go, what the heck, then don't.
Please. Yeah.
Please don't. Right.
Yeah. So we take, like I said, something for everyone. So we do, any accessory, belts, shoes, handbags, jewelry, scarves, sunglasses, all of those things. We do clothing for the entire family, and then we do home decor items. So all of that stuff is great. We just ask that if it's nice enough that you would lend it to a friend, we can use it. We do not take large furniture. We just don't have the manpower for that. But we love clothing all seasons. We say all seasons anytime. We have the ability to store that merchandise until the proper season. We love, holiday decor, things like that are different seasons. It doesn't matter. And in just clothing, shoes, all of those things. We love those things, and we make it really easy to donate, especially with our red bags.
And that slide that you're seeing right there on the screen, again, we gratefully accept, we must decline, kind of giving you a breakdown. If you go to their website, by the way, you will see all of that, see how it works. And that's what I was going to ask when people are thinking, and maybe even people that are moving, oh, I've got all of this stuff, but does it need to be seasonal? Do I have to wait for this? Or can I, because some places it is, but for you, no.
Yep, we try to make it very convenient. So we have no seasonal restrictions. Like I said, we try not to we don't want garage sale remnants.
Right.
We do limit the amount of things that we take for like babies and children just for safety reasons. And so we don't take things like car seats and high chairs and things like that. So if you would put a baby in it, we do not take that. But really, if it's clothing related, if it's a beautiful houseware, picture frames, throw pillows, dish sets, candlesticks, books, you name it. We love all of that kind of stuff.
And then we haven't talked about this, but I was mentioning earlier about them being very active on social media. You do these lives where you come on and it's like, hey, let's show you this, and this is available to you. How long have you been doing that?
Just for a couple months. That's something new that we started. We initially had an online store, when 2020 happened to everybody, we all pivoted and we did what we needed to do. We found that was just not the best measure for us. We truly are an in-person store.
Yeah.
We want you to come in. We want you to see the items. We want you to try them on. We want you to engage with us about it. Come out of that fitting room. Show us, that this dress you're wearing to a special event. That's just the kind of store we are. Our sales associates, they know our customers by name. We have customers who come in every single day. And if somebody doesn't come in, we notice, we're like,
where have you been?
Somebody call Bob. Is he okay? So we, that's just who we are. And so we pivoted away from the online store, but we still needed something that gave us kind of that online presence.
Yeah, I love it.
So while we don't sell over the Facebook Lives like some stores do, we just show you a great collection of what we have available at that time.
Get in here and get it.
And and then we keep that stuff on a separate rack. So we have a rack in the store that's, from the Facebook Live. And then if you see something on the show that day, we'll get down and get it. And our store manager runs those. So Peggy does an amazing job selecting a theme each week. And the girls, some are volunteers, some are staff, some are just friends. They pop in and they assist her on the show that we do every Wednesday morning. And we just really have a lot of fun with it. I think polka dots is on the horizon, actually.
Again, and that's the thing about when people hear resale, they might be like, oh, I don't know what's really there. No, we just mentioned some really amazing things for kids, for men, for women. Let's talk about men. You have Men's Day Wednesdays.
We do. So that's always the closing statement of the Facebook Live, because we do those on Wednesdays, is don't forget to come in because it's Men's Day Wednesday. And it's 25% off store-wide on men's clothing and accessories, shoes. So we have, ties and belts and shoes and hats and lots of great suits and blazers.
Yeah.
Beautiful men's dress shirts, and then we have your standard casual clothing as well. And we do great housewares type things, for men as well. There's not just, florals throughout the whole store. There's things for everyone.
No, and that's the thing that I love, because again, you may have been to a resale shop and go, oh, this is all for ladies, when I knew that they had guy stuff and kid stuff, because that's the other thing. A lot of places don't have kid things either. This really is something for everyone, and all different price tags. So that's the thing I wanted you to hear. When we're talking about couturier, some people might go, oh, okay, well, how much is the VIP ticket? And am I going to be able to afford that? I'm sure that's going through your minds.
Absolutely. It surely is. And there is a price increase, if you would, during that couturier season, because the merchandise is of a certain quality. But at any given time when you come into the resale shop, our standard pair of pants is going to be $6 to $8. Our dresses run around, $12 to $20. Shirts can be anywhere between, 5 and 10, sweaters, sometimes 10 to 12. But our prices are very fair. We really view our resale shop as not only a fundraiser, but as our community service project as well. It is our goal to ensure that anyone can come in and shop at any time, whether you need to or not. Please come in and shop. But we want those prices to be affordable.
Right.
And we want people to be, happy with the things that they leave and feel like, leave with and feel like they got a really good bargain. We use our store as a community service project. We have a project called Project Renewal, where we work with some area shelters, and those women are able to come in and get services and items that they need at no cost.
Right.
And we also work with our, over 70 partner agencies here in the community, where we're able to provide them vouchers to clients that they have deemed, have a need of some sort. And we can vary those dollar amounts on those vouchers based on what a family or an individual may need. And they're able to come in and shop in our store completely free of charge with those.
I love that. Again, it's just paying it forward and giving back to all the organizations. Okay, we're going to give you a wrap up of all of this. If you have any questions, by the way, live or when you watch this show later, let us know. Feel free to do so. More importantly, go and support them. Find out how you can volunteer if you want to be a part of some of the events that they have coming up. We mentioned earlier the educational standpoint. There are multiple events coming up that you can find on their website, ncjwstl.com. Again, throughout the month of July, you've got some coming up in August as well. And from an education standpoint, really understanding the history. We mentioned it's not necessarily from a religious standpoint, but there you go. The history, the focus of it all, as you have events that some we just came off of. There was one actually, didn't you have a big thing yesterday? Did you have an event on the 7th? I thought I was looking on your webpage and I was like, oh, nope, this one's already over. But again, there are more coming up and coming up in August as well. So if they want to come to an event, are these ticketed? Are they free events?
Most of our events are at no charge.
Okay.
And you go to ncjwstl.org. And you can pull up our calendar. You can look at special events. You can look to volunteer for a specific one of those 5 direct service projects that we run. We are always looking for volunteers. If you don't have time to volunteer, but you want to support us anyway, then you can go online and just make a donation directly to the organization. And so there are lots of ways to engage with us, both monetarily, which we so appreciate. Our donors are so generous. I'm sure most of them are the folks that are watching your show anyway,
yes,
right?
That's right.
And or people come in and volunteer with us. They get on a committee. They plan a special event. We do a big trivia night every February as a fundraiser. Huge committee. They love to come together and plan trivia night. As I said, our back to school event, we're going to need 500 volunteers. We've already got 300 people, over 300, have signed up in the first 2 weeks that we made it available for people to sign up.
So we need another couple hundred.
We need another couple hundred volunteers, and they can come in and volunteer for a 4-hour shift. It's on a Sunday, August 3rd, and all of the information is on our website.
Again, ncjwstl.org. So you can find out more information. We're talking about the back to school store, which we mentioned at the very beginning. But again, volunteering, donating, shopping. Who doesn't love to shop? There are so many ways for you to help out. All right, we'll give you all the wrap up. And what are we feeling today, ladies? We always wrap up with a little faith. So we do 100 Days to Freedom devotional books. 100 Days to Freedom from fear and anxiety. 100 Days to Freedom from shame, from depression, from anger, from overeating. Oh, you want to do the overeating one?
No.
Do we need freedom from that after the holiday?
Yes,
Okay.
after 4th of July, my goodness.
We haven't done that one in a while. Okay, we'll do the overeating one. Again, more with Ellen and Jessica when we return.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European designs, unique metals, bold lacquers, plush fabrics, and retro styles.
Modern furnishings with exclusive collections only at Carroll House.
Plus free financing, free delivery and setup, and free in-home design.
Visit the St. Louis Center for Contemporary Design inside our 3.5-acre showrooms at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
And welcome back again. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Again, if you had to hop off, and you can come back and watch later on the stream, and then take the show and share like crazy, because there are some really amazing events coming up. We mentioned again at the beginning, NCJW. We're going to talk a little bit more about the historical aspect of it, the partnership aspect of it, all the different events, which you'll see as you walk in 295 North Lindbergh, where they're located right now in the Creve Coeur area. We will be there for our big makeover show next Friday. The broadcast is from 9 to 10, so you'll be able to watch that play out. We'll always want you to be interactive, say, which is your favorite outfit? We'll have our own favorites as well. And if you or someone you know might want to have a fun day with us, again, literally all you have to do is get in there, let them outfit you, and then be there for us next Friday, showing up about 8:30 in the morning, and then we'll go on at 9 a.m. It's that simple. Just have fun. It's always been a lot of fun with the ones that we've done in the past, so we look forward to doing yet another one, but this time, for the first time, with NCJW. Okay, before we do our 100 Days to Freedom, again, if you're just tuning in, you're at the end of the show. Ellen Alper, she is the CEO of NCJW, and then we've also been talking with Jessica Dunman. She's got the fun role of the shopping aspect, right? The resale shop. A lot of hard work, though. A lot of people that play a role in this. So if you want to volunteer, you want to be a part of this in any way, you want to donate to them, go to ncjwstl.org to help out with that. But before we wrap up, Ellen, a little bit more about the history side.
So NCJW has always been that organization that identifies a need in the community, and then we develop a response to meet that need. So in the early 1920s, we started the very first free milk program in the St. Louis public schools, which evolved into the free breakfast and lunch programs that we have today. The Scholarship Foundation was founded by NCJW. Court-appointed Special Advocates of St. Louis County was founded by NCJW here in St. Louis 45 years ago.
I didn't know that.
Victim Service Center, Legal Advocates for Abused Women, the Crown Center for Senior Living, which some of the first senior housing in St. Louis, we built it in the late 60s and early 70s. We raised all the money. We got a grant from the federal government. We staffed it with volunteers who took rental applications and did programming. All of these now stand as freestanding nonprofits in our community because of the legacy that NCJW was able to create. And that's when we talk about impact.
Right.
That's ongoing, long-term impact that really changed the face of the community in terms of the kinds of services that are provided for women, children, and families. And we continue to do that work today. We're working on launching a new project in the next year, tentatively titled the St. Louis Women's Network. More to come on that.
Oh, okay, we'll have to do this follow-up. If someone wants to be a part of NCJW, how do they do that?
They can just go to our website, ncjwstl.org, and there's a drop-down where they can fill out a volunteer form, and then it comes in, and then we'll reach out to them and talk to them about what they want to do. Do they want to do a one-time volunteering? Are they looking for something ongoing? Do they want to volunteer in the shop? Do they want to be in the office? Lots and lots of places for volunteers.
Right. And again, an opportunity for you to just feel good. We always talk about if you've never volunteered for anything in your life, introduce yourself to it. It really warms your heart and you are really making a difference in the world and changing lives. Ladies, thank you. We're so excited for next Friday. Really cannot wait for this. And again, 9 o'clock, the big makeover show. We're going to have a blast with it. Again, if you can't watch live, come back and watch it later and then share it with your family and friends. If you can comment live, do so because you become very interactive that day to tell us what your favorite outfits are. And I don't get a chance to see them, by the way. I see them before. They don't show them to me until morning of, because I like that authentic reaction of like the same thing with you all of, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that change they had. Did you have fun with Barb so far?
We had a blast.
Yeah.
I think there were more hugs given in the 5 minutes before she left the store than I've ever received. Like we just had so much fun and she picked out the best things and she's already tagged some of the things that she picked out to wear as permanently going home with her. So
that's what always happens.
Yeah, she wanted to ensure nothing would happen to those items before she was back on Friday.
That is the thing about the makeover shows and the ladies that we've done it with in the past at the Vault. They're like, yeah, like everyone that we has had come in over the last 4 makeover shows that we've done are always like, well, I want this, obviously.
Yeah.
It's fun though, because sometimes even the last one, I ask the ladies all the time, like this take it out of your comfort zone. And they're like, oh, absolutely. And I said, see, with me never meeting you, this is what I would see you in. And so even though it might be something that they're not used to, when they get that response from someone, it's okay, maybe I do need to buy this. I just remember going on and on and on about one particular outfit going, you have to understand, you have to buy this. It looks incredible on you. So yes, so have fun with it. It's not mandatory, but I'd be surprised if you all don't want to take home what you get put in. How many people have a part in outfitting them? Was it like a handful of you or?
It was an entire staff effort.
Oh, good.
Let me tell you, we all jumped in as Barb would come out of the fitting rooms and different things. We all chimed in. You know, there were things that that we liked. There were things that we didn't like. It was, me run into a different section of the store saying, wait, I think I have a shoe that looks better with that, than the one we have picked out, and somebody behind the jewelry picking out jewelry for the different outfits. And so it was an entire effort. The donation center girls, they were out, they were helping, and we really we came up with the outfit that looked good on her. Customers were chiming in,
fun.
and they wanted to know what it was all about.
Yep.
And ultimately, when she came out of that fitting room and she was glowing, we knew we had picked the right outfit.
Oh, I can't wait. And today they're going to have fun with Hayden. So Hayden is one of our interns. I cannot wait to see what you put him in. Now he's younger, right?
Okay.
But when I first met him, he showed up in a suit and I was like, oh, I love this. Then he'll be more casual, but he loves fashion.
Okay.
So just know that going in.
I'm excited.
Take him out of his comfort zone.
I'm
excited by that. Okay, so we do 100 Days of Freedom. We always bring faith into play at the end of the show. This is a daily devotional from Stephen Arterburn. Breaking Through Denial, it's called. It's day 33 of 100 days. I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness because you will have the light that leads to life. Once we've accepted the reality that our lives have become unimaginable, the next step is to begin to look at areas where we've been in denial. This is one of the hardest yet most important investments of time that you can make. In their book, Lose It for Life, Stephen Arterburn and Linda Mintle wrote that deception and denial give way to seeing yourself as you really are. Are you trapped in your patterns? Are you paralyzed by fear, making choices that produce short-term results rather than long-term changes? Choosing to believe that God will do more than you could ever ask, think, or imagine is walking in faith as you face and confront the areas of life that have taken you away from the full life that God has for you. So with his help and the support of a community of like-minded individuals, you'll be able to make the lasting changes that you're hoping for. By bringing the parts of your life that you're not proud of into God's healing light, you will be able to stop living in the past and walk in the redemptive power, believing that you're chosen and forgiven and redeemed and loved. That all empowers you to create new patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. So we have a couple of comments here. Stephen Furtick said, you can't fulfill your calling in your comfort zone. And I align with Stephen because what do I want to be remembered for? If you watch this show for a long time, you know my statement. When I'm no longer here, I want everybody to come to my celebration of life and say, all she ever said was, the greatest reward comes from the most uncomfortable walk. Think about that. Let that marinate there for a little bit. That's my statement. And Stephen, I agree with this. Again, get out of your comfort zone. Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. That's Corey Tenboom. And then Rick Warren said, God has a purpose behind every problem. He uses circumstances to develop our character. In fact, he depends more on circumstances to make us more like him than he depends on reading the Bible. So here's your prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for being a God who changes lives. Thank you for loving me and shining light on the areas I need to change. Please strengthen me as I move out of denial into changing my patterns and my behaviors. And one of the things I'm going to add to that is give yourself some grace. There are so many people I personal train and life coach, and you don't look at the amazing things that you do on a day-by-day basis because you're just looking for the huge one. You're looking for the applause. The applause is happening. Sometimes it's not as loud as you would like it to be, but it's the silent ones of, you got this, girl, or you got this, you got this. Give yourself some grace and start understanding that it is a step-by-step walk. It is not this marathon that you're going to run right away, right? It's the whole... You can't be sitting in a couch never doing anything and think you can go out and do a marathon, but there are things of like the Couch to 5K programs. Think about that. There's a journey of it all. Remember the journey and celebrate your life. That's what it's all about. Tomorrow, speaking of celebrating, it is an incredible story of this young man. His name is Darian Crisp. I cannot wait to have him on. He's actually doing some work for me. This coming weekend, I'm the keynote speaker at Jay Bloom's national conference that's coming into town at St. Charles Convention Center. He's actually going to video that for us. I cannot wait to see this sizzle reel that he's going to put together. I was introduced to this young man and his work is amazing. We're going to tell you about his work, but more importantly, it's how he ever got to that and how he and his family believed in him, how they ever got him that first camera that he was looking for and how he got bit by the bug. It's really cool. I love to celebrate our youth. And then on Saturday, excited to speak at the Gateway Hemophilia Association. They're having me tell my story about my blood clot when I was 19 and how I'm still here today, a miracle walking because of that. So if you want a speaker for a small gathering or auditoriums, I don't know if you know that, but I am a motivational speaker as well as an MC and an auctioneer. Reach out to me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and let's use voices to change lives together. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And remember what we always ask you, that is to get out of your own way, introduce yourself to a new person, new culture, new faith, listen, hear what they're saying. That's what you meant by that, right? Let's eradicate hate and let's be kinder. It's the greatest thing you can be in life. Thank you so much.